Today's tutorial is about drawing a roof plan. And with the roof plan, it has two components. That is the detailed one and the one with the roof cover or the roofing sheet. That's how we call it. So before you start drawing your roof plan, you would have to get your roof tool from the AutoCAD. So you see that you get it from the ribbon or you key in your roof command, then you are good to go. So when you want to get it from the ribbon, you come to the roof slab here, then next you click on the roof, then your roof command is activated, or you type roof, enter, then you type A, which is for add, then you press enter. After you are done activating it, you go through your roof properties. This is the properties for any command that you activate. So you go to the roof properties, then you check for your thickness. So for me, my thickness that I prefer is 3 millimeters. That's what I used to do my drawing. So your edge cut, which is either plumb or square, you come to your shape overhang. For my overhang, I always do it 600. Others do it 750. It depends on how you want your design to be. And my slope is 30 degrees. So after you've gone through all these properties to check that everything is intact, you draw the roof around the external walls of your building or the external part of your building where you want the roof to be. Sometimes you would want part of your roof to be slab, or maybe there will be another floor on it, so you wouldn't have to use the roof on some part of your building. So in that case, you would not include that part, you exclude it. But in our case, we are covering the whole building with a roof. So I'll start by clicking the corners of the building. So as you are clicking the corners of the building, then your roof will automatically be generated for you. That is by AutoCAD. After you are done drawing it, getting to the last but one corner, you just press your space bar or you press on enter. Mind you, when you press escape key, whatever you've drawn will vanish, meaning you don't want it. That's how AutoCAD perceives or understand your instruction. When you press the escape key at this point, meaning you don't want what you've drawn, you want to draw another one with the roof command still active. So you press enter or spacebar to make sure that your drawing is there. Then you press escape key to release the command. So after we are done with drawing the roof with the AutoCAD roof tool, you will have to trace the parts of the roof, that is the edge here, all the edges with polyline, which leads us to activating our polyline tool. Then we trace it from one corner to the other. Okay, so when you are done with this, you make a copy of the overall thing. So let's make about 2 copies of these. Alright, so as I said earlier, we would be doing the roof plan with the roof cover or the roof material and the roof plan which is detailed. So let's start with the detailed one, then we end up with the one with the roof cover. So let's use this one for the roof detailing and let's use this one for the roof cover. So without much ado, when you look at your plan You can see some short dashes on the external walls as a result of your roof that you do with the AutoCAD roof command or roof tool. So you click on that to get hold of your AutoCAD roof tool. Then you press delete or you press enter to get rid of it. Now, to start editing, you select all your polylines, then you explode. Afterwards, you select the external ones, that is the edge of it, the edge of the roof. Then you join. You click on the edge of the roof that you've joined. You offset it at a distance of 100. You offset it inwards at a distance of 100. Then you again offset it at a distance of 25. That is to get your fascia board thickness. So right now, from the fascia board to our roof edge is the 100, and then the thickness of the fascia board is the 25 millimeters that we just did. So now this is it. Activate your trim command, then you trim the lines that exceed the fascia board. All the lines that exceed the fascia board, you trim them. So after we are done with drawing the fascia board, now let's move on to drawing our ridge. After drawing our ridge, we move on to drawing our rafters. Then we end up with the purlins. So starting with the ridge, activate your offset command with a distance of 25 millimeters. Then offset the all the ridge lines from the center to the left and again to the right. This is the ridge, but for this roof and this corner, this ridge becomes the valley. It takes care of the valley, so we will not offset it right now, but we will do something to it, and then we will start offsetting it. So let's continue with the others. Release your offset command, then you type you again activate the offset command with a distance of 50 this time. You do that to your ridge, all the ridge lines. For the sake of time, all these are part of the ridge line, so you would have to complete this. But for the sake of time, I'll just wrap it up and then you complete this in a bit. Alright, after offsetting it, you click on you select all the center lines of the ridge, then you delete it. All the center lines, then you delete it. Now activate the trim command and let's do some trimming here. You have to trim all the lines that exceed the fascia board. Extend these ones. So after you are done with this one, you can see that for the valley here, the corner of the corner that it will be joining has changed. In the first time, at first it was here, it was around this area, but for now it has changed. So you click on it, then you move this edge to the corner, then you start offsetting it as you did with the other ridge lines. After you are done with the roof ridge lines, you select your walls. Select all your walls, then you explode them. You again select, then you explode for the second time. So after you are done exploding the walls for the second time, you select the walls again, then you change their line type to dashes, short dashes, meaning there is a wall there. After the detailing, there is some block work below. That's the reason for the short dashes. So after doing everything, this is how your results will be. You select the walls, then you change them to short dashes, then you do the offsets, that's the 25 and then the 50 offset distance for all the ridge lines. So this will be your results. So when you are done with this one, you explode the first lines of the fascia board, that is the inside lines of the fascia board. Then you select one side, you copy a distance of, so right now we're about to draw the rafters. You copy a distance of 1200, that is 1.2 meters. Then you again copy for the thickness of the rafter, which is 50. When you are done, you select the rafter again, then you copy it at a distance of 1200. Then you copy it again 1200. So you fill the whole of this part. Alright, so when you are done, this is how you do it. You click on the borders that you want your trims to be. You want your trims to end. Then you activate your trim command. You trim all the rafter lines that exceed your trim border. So right now these are our rafters. So you do same for all the other parts of the roof. So after everything is done, this is how you get your arrangement to be for the rafters. So after you are done drawing your rafters, let us trim this one. So after you are done drawing your rafters, this is how you get everything. And right now that we are done with the rafters, let's continue with the purlins. For the purlins, it moves from the purlin is parallel to the fascial board. So meaning it moves across the rafters. So for our thickness of the purlin, we will take it to be 100. So you select the line, then you offset or you copy 100. You again select the copied line, then you copy it at a distance of 1050. You select again, then you copy it backwards for the thickness of the purlin, which is 100. So right now, from this line to this line is 100, which is the thickness of our purlin. And then from this part to this part is the offset distance of the purlins, which is 1050. And these two represent the thickness of the purlin at this level. So let's copy it and fill the whole of this part with it. Copy it, then you click the common point, then you are done. You can see that it is done here. Then you select our boundaries that we want to trim the purlins to. So now we are also done with the purlins for this side. You will do the same thing for this side, this side, this side, and the rest of the sides. So as you can see right now, when you continue with the same colors as white, you would be confused at some point. So we will change the color of the rafters. So you select all the rafters, then you change its color to any color that you want. So you select all the rafters here, you come to properties, color is there, then you select the color for it, any color that you want. So you can now differentiate between the rafters and the purlins. And as time goes on, you see that the purlins are also having the same color as the ridge. So you would, if you want to change the color of the purlins, you select the purlins, the lines for the purlins, then you change the color the same way that you go to the properties and go to the color. Then you select a color for it. That's all. So right now, I expect each and everybody to do the purlin for this side, and the rest of the other sides. So now this is our purlins for all the sides. As you can see, these red colors are my purlins, to represent my purlins. Now that we are done with this, let's move on to the labeling of the parts. So you go to the annotation on the ribbon, click on this multi leader, then you come to, let's start with our rafter. Let's start labeling our rafter. So if you want your lettering to move to this side or this side, once your cursor is up, you just move it a bit to the side that you want it to be, then bring it back to the middle. If you want it to this side, move it a little bit to this side, then bring it back to the middle. So let's say I want my lettering to go to this side. I move it, then it gives me the space for me to type. So right now, let's type our purlins, or No, sorry, the rafters. So you start with a dimension 50 by 100, 50 by 150 millimeters timber rafter. Timber rafter at this one. When we're drawing it, we offset it at a distance of 1200. So 1200 millimeters center to center. Then we are done with our rafter. Let's do the same for our purlins. This one too is 50 by 100 millimeters timber purlin. The reason why you specify whether it is timber is that we have purlins made of steel. So you have to specify the material. Timber purlin at a distance of 150 millimeters center to center. Let's move it to the side a little bit. Let's again continue with our fascial board. So our fascial board is also 25 by 300 millimeters timber fascial board. This one is not at any distance, so you wouldn't specify any center to center. Make sure it touches whatever you want to name or you want to label. Let's continue with the ridge. So the size of the ridge is mostly the same as the size of the rafter. So 50 by 150 millimeters timber ridge board. This one too is at no distance or at no center to center. It is just at the corner, so there's no need to type any center to center there. Then we again move on to the roof. We specify the roof material. Sometimes if you don't know the type of, if the client is not specific of the type of roof cover that he or she wants, you can just indicate roof cover. You can just write roof cover, or if you have any specific roof material that you want to recommend, you just specify it. So let's specify let's just do it in general, roof cover, so that when it gets to site, the client will specify what the type of roof cover that he or she wants. So roof cover. So since the roof cover is at the top of the detailings, you select the roof, then you change the line type to short dashes, that is hidden, indicating that it is at the top. It is not at the same level as what we are doing right now. Alright, so we are done with the roof detailing, that's the roof plan, part of the roof plan, which is roof detailing. Now let's move to the roof cover. For this one, because the roof detailings are being covered with the roof material, when you're at the top, you cannot see anything below it. You just see roof, just the roof cover. You wouldn't see any wall, anything. So you select all the walls. You select all the walls here. Let's leave 2 lines here for reference. So you delete the walls together with the roof that you drew with the AutoCAD 2. Alright, so now you select the polyline, you explode. Then you offset your ridge lines at a distance of 150. So this time it is not ridge board, it is the ridge cap. That is the roof cover, part of the roof cover which is being covered, is used to cover the ridge board. You offset 150 to the both sides of the ridge lines. So as in the first one, we did not do this one in the first place. We would have to wait till we are completed with this one, or I will have to wait till we finish with this one before we move this one to the appropriate part or the appropriate position. Then we start offsetting. So now that we are done with this, let's trim and extend. So now that we are done with trimming and offsetting and trimming and extending all the ridge caps, let's move the value to the appropriate position. Then we offset it at a distance of 50 to both sides. After trimming and extending for the valley, you have to take off the center line of it. For this one, the center line is not needed. But for the ridge cap, when you look at the roof from the top, you see that part of the ridge cap is pointed towards the center. The center part of the ridge cap is pointed or it is visible. So the center line for the ridge cap is needed for this drawing. Okay, so now we are done with the offsetting and then the trimming and extending of the roof. Now let's draw something here which will help us indicate the fall, which is in an arrow form. So you pick your polyline, you draw a horizontal line to any length that you want, a reasonable length. Draw a rectangle, a triangle like this. Activate your circle command. Click the center. Then to any reasonable distance, you leave it there. Now trim here. Then press H for hatch. After you are done pressing H, click on solid. Then you click on this part of the figure here. Then you press spacebar. Now go to the annotation and click on the multi-text. Bring your text here. Then you type fall. Let's change the font size and font type. Mirror this to the top. Copy it here. Rotate this one. Rotate it, then you mirror it to the other side. So now, for the reason why we drew these things is to indicate the fall or where each part of the roof slopes to. So for this part of the roof, it slopes downwards here. This one slopes here. This one slopes to this direction. This one to this direction, and this one to this direction. So this will be an indicator of where the slope is. So you pick this one, this arrow showing that it slopes downwards, then you place it here. You pick this one showing that it slopes backwards. Take this one to indicate that it slopes to the left side. This one also slopes to the left side, but you can see, as you can see, the figure here is bigger than it, so you can just leave it. But if it can fit in, you would have to place it there. This one to slopes to this side. Manipulate it. So now let's select ridge. And change the color to any preferable color that we want. So let's say we are going for this color. All right. Okay. Let's go in for this color right now. So now that we are done with this, you press your H and spacebar or enter to activate your hatch command. You click on the arrow here, then you type RO so that it will take you straight to the roof section. So we have different types of roofs here. You just pick one. So let's pick this one. Let's change the scale of it to 40. Then you hatch here. You hatch, then you hatch. You press spacebar to release the command, then press spacebar to activate the command again. Then for this time, you change the angle of the hatch to 90 degrees. so that we can use it for this size, the ones sloping to the right and left. So you click to hatch, then you click to hatch, finally click here to hatch. Let's change the color. Select this one, change the color again. Select the edge of the roof, then also change the color to. Okay, so let's match properties. You click on the roof, you click on the ridge line, type MA to activate the match property command. Then you match properties. Alright, so after we are done with this, we will have to take the grid lines here, then also paste it on the drawing that we just did. So after we are done selecting all the lines, let's copy this one by holding a common point. Let me paste one here so that I can get a copy there. You click at the common point, click at the common point. So this is the reason why I left this line there, so that it will serve as a reference for me to add the grid lines. Let's dimension the roof a bit. So from this side to this side, you dimension it. Try to dimension all the sides wherever there is so now this is it. So if you want to label your drawing, let's copy this one here. You double click on it, then you edit it. So this one is roof plan. Let's change the size of it to about 5.0. Roof plan. And this one is roof details. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for your time, and would love to hear from you next time.